There. Good day, everyone. Anybody that's showing up so far, I'm not sure who's still straggling along waiting on John's, but I know he's still out racing. Hey, ADRC, thanks for coming. Sweet, thanks, Dave Nitro. I appreciate that. I'll take all the subs I can get. I'm not as big as everybody else, so some people got lots more subs than I do, but like I said, I do it for the love of the hobby. Just out here with my pup today. It's cold as shit here, so it's too cold to run anything today. Outside anyway. Hey Corey, I would imagine you'd be bouncing back and forth. I wasn't sure if John was still going or not. I appreciate that. Well, hopefully my dog doesn't knock the tripod over. She's out here with me today. We'll give it a few minutes for more people to pop in. Thank you, I appreciate that, Native Nitro. Usually I can give a tour on the collection later if you like. Is he still struggling with that tune, Corey? Did he change the plug? I hope he did. I hope he didn't start losing the connecting rod or something like that, because it's weird how it just started doing that. It got worse. Ooh. You don't think he did change the plug? I bet that plug is. I've had that before, where you'll be running and racing and carrying on. Probably don't knock the tripod over. And then the next thing you know, the tune goes right sideways. And you'll be fighting and fighting and fighting, and you're all of a sudden you're trying to adjust the tune. Next thing you know, you got your tune so fucked up, and it's just the plug. Hey TK. Yeah, I find the first thing I'll do is I'll windmill a plug in it if it just all of a sudden changes, and then go from there. Now, that's why I keep a spare plug in my plug wrench, just because if it's not bad, then you put the plug back in your plug wrench and you can reuse it. But it's just you'll fight tooth and nail to try and compensate for a shitty plug. Hey Joey. Hopefully I don't start coughing and hacking. I woke up this morning with a dirty head cold that was so kind as one of my coworkers gave it to me on a business trip. He was sick as shit all week, and I thought I managed to avoid it, but no such luck. Thanks, Eddie. Am I saying that right? AD? ADE. So I'm assuming it's 80. Hey, RC Modified. At least I got a Losi. Right on. This is the one that I picked up on that business trip where that engineering kid gave me this stupid cold. So this is, I'll put the body back on, I guess, just so you guys can see it. I picked this up on a business trip because every time I seem to go somewhere, I have to pick something up because I'm addicted to buying them. I can't seem to stop. Anyway, it's all original. It's actually in super clean shape. The wing, I think the wing is an aftermarket wing because it would be, I think the factory one is a little bit flatter, as well as it has a aluminum wing mount. So, are all my cars nitro? Yeah, every one of them's nitro. The only thing I got, believe it or not, that's not nitro is a shitty little boat that's over there that I've robbed most of the pieces out of it. And I would give that to somebody if they wanted it, just because I'll never do anything with it, because I'm so far from water in the mountains, anywhere that you can run a little boat anyway. So yeah, I picked this up in Edmonton. It's pretty clean. Well, it was cleaner till I got my mitts on it. It has the Losi 427. It's a pretty nice rig. The drive shaft in the back, I do have to order a new one. He had drilled out the set screw, and because it got stripped, and then I didn't have a drive shaft, so for testing purposes, I welded a nut to the yoke and threaded a bolt in there. It works for now, till I can get a new drive shaft for it. Apparently they're pretty tough to find. That's what the fella told me that I got it from. But it's pretty clean. There was no shmoo in the tank. I did test fire it the other day. It does run. The radio gear, he screwed up when he sent me the radio gear. I'll show you. This is the radio gear for it. It's a good Spectrum radio, but he neglected to give me the battery pack for it. So I had to swap it out with another receiver to go with my other one. So, but he is sending it to me. So he admitted that he screwed that up, but that happens. Hey, RC Modified. But yeah, so I do have the new Losi 8T, the newer RTR one. This one is the older version of the 8T, which anybody that watches Rinks' channel, I'm pretty sure this is the same as his. I was kind of hoping he joins today because I just like to compare to see if it's the same as his or not. But I think it is. It's pretty solid. It did come with the starting shaft. However, it is a bit of a bear to start with this starting shaft. So I might have to make a longer one because to try and fish this in here, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. It's possible, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass. It does, everything functions. All the servos were good. It was basically as advertised. I had to pull this whole rear assembly apart to get this drive shaft in here, but it worked. Like I said, it's not pretty. My welds are careful because of the because of how thin that stuff is. But yeah, so it seems to be pretty solid. I wanted it because it was the other generation of the 8T. Like I said, I have the newer one, two versions of the new one. One was an anniversary gift, and the other one was one that I picked up that a guy had given up on, and I just couldn't see it. It was too good of a deal to pass up. You like the wheels and tires? Yeah. The only problem with that is I love the tire pattern on these. I like them too. They're still the team. They're the original Team Losi tires. These rears are square as shit. Like when I ran this for a test drive, it just about shakes itself right off the table. Like it's pretty gnarly. The rear tires are pretty square. It's set somewhere on its own weight for a very long time. But so I may need to change these rears, unfortunately, because they are square. The fronts aren't too bad. They seem to travel along not bad. They got lots of tread on them. They may come back to life once I start running it, but this rear wheel on this side is kind of cracked anyway. So I may change these. I have lots of spares. It is the V1, hey? MZ, thanks for coming, by the way. It looked like the V1. That's why I wanted it, because I have the newest. I don't know how many versions there are. I go down these rabbit holes where I want the versions of everything. If you see the camera shaking, it's because my puppy's on my feet. Hey, all aspects. Anybody know how many versions they made of this? You know, now that I spin that and look at that, that wheel is all fucked up. It's not even round. It's kind of egg-shaped. Silver towers, chassis V1, red towers and chassis are V2. All black is V3. So there's 3 versions. Okay. So now I gotta, you bugger. Now I gotta look for the V2. What's up, Harold? Thanks for coming. Yeah, Rinks, that's what I was hoping you were coming, buddy. Thanks for coming. I went and picked this up in the city in Edmonton on a business trip, and because I remember seeing yours, and this is the V1 8T, obviously like yours, and I wanted it to go with my other V3, I guess. Thanks to the guys on here. Yeah, so it runs good. I did test fire it the other day. The how what, Joey? Sorry. You just made your Savage X and XL. Oh, what, you used the side plates, Harold? Is that what you did? Hey, Compass, thanks for coming, buddy. Yeah, so like I said, here, I'll show you a little better. Rings. I think it's the same as yours. Pretty much down to it. And then the body. This is the body that came with it. It's pretty clean. It's well, it's a little bit dirty inside. Nothing serious, but it's not all messed up anyway. So there's no cracks in it. One little crack here he did fix. Oh no, he didn't fix it. So I got to shoe glue that. I stand corrected. So I'll fix that before I start running it. You got all the drive shafts and stuff to go with it, Harold? Because you're gonna, if you extend it, you're gonna have to extend all your drive shafts and whatnot too, right? It's pretty clean. I picked it up for a pretty decent price. Oh, sorry, dog's knocking the camera around. The yours has the 454. Yeah, this one I picked up for $250 Canadian in Edmonton because the guy said he could not find a rear drive shaft, so he gave up on it. Like I said, so I had to repair this one till I can actually find one. 454 stock in the V2. So Rinks, is yours a V2? Love to find a 10T with a 3.4. I have one of those native nitro, you know. They're pretty nice. I have the 10T with the 3.4, with the auto start or the Ross system, and they're pretty awesome. Oh, yours is a 2.0. Will you let me know if you want to trade that thing? Because now that'll give me all three versions, and I'd be interested in a trade if you're interested in partnering with it. You need the V1. Well, are you in the opposite MZ? You have the V2 and the V3, but not the V1. I trade you a jamming. Those are pretty rare. I have two, of course. But yeah, the this one seems. What are you doing, dog? What are you eating? Just a second. Okay, just eating a toy. Truggy. I have both MZ, the Truggy and the Buggy. I have two of the Truggy, the X1 CR. I have two of them. One has axial, and the other one has an aero engine in it. The raw system is pretty sick. They're pretty tough to find. Yeah, my pup's down here on my feet. Not to say she's small, but she's down here on my feet. 100-pound baby. What was I just saying? Holy Jesus. Sorry, a little bit scatterbrained today. Kind of like scrambled eggs. So many cold medicine that it's kind of fucking me up. Yeah, you Jude Chuckies. Oh, you can't get rid of them. They're cool truggies, don't get me wrong, but my God, you can't find parts for them. If you break the friggin' things, good luck. You're toast. I saw that last week was your birthday. How old are you, Compass? I didn't look, sorry. Got some birthday. What did you buy now? Did you buy out at a hobby store? Oh yeah, native nitro. That's what I was talking about. Sorry. Whew, my apologies. The 10T. I picked that 10T up. Is a smoking deal in the city. I was actually in there. My wife was going for a hair appointment, and I actually picked it up. I was one of those last-minute Facebook marketplace deals where I was bored and I managed to find it, and the guy had broke the control arm off in the rear, and he couldn't find parts for it. And I actually lucked out and found parts online and ordered them before I even bought the truggy. So it was a bit of a gamble, but yeah, the whole raw system works perfect. They're pretty cool. If anybody hasn't seen them, they're pretty neat. Ah, 40 years old. Right on. You're getting there, Compass. Getting there. The old man club now. So yeah. What are you doing? She's being good, so I don't want to disturb her. Yeah, I know, Harold. You're the young guy. It's amazing how much this 427 looks like the Big Red. I think they used the cooling head on the Big Red. Even the block and everything looks almost exactly the same. I wonder if the piston and sleeve would work. Because these, I believe, are like a 6-port or an 8-port. I know they have the world's worst fucking carburetor on them. Yeah, they come with the shit. They don't tune worth a crap. I don't know what it is with them Big Reds, but they fight you. That one there, I ended up pulling it out. It was in a truggy, and I pulled it out because I just got sick of fighting with it. Every time I ran it, it was a completely different tune. I wish I was 24 too, native. I just turned 50. Harold, if you want this, I'll sell it to you cheap. This Big Red. It still has decent pinch. I had it in a buggy. It's when you get it tuned, it's awesome. But my God, it's contrary. Did the V1 come with a matching starter box? No, this one, I don't know if this one was supposed to originally be bump start. I know this came with the 427 and it has that Losi rotostart thing. So it will start with the that rotostart tool like the LST. So it doesn't have a starter box. The V2 obviously takes a starter box. It sure does look identical, hey? V1 is a rotostart. Okay, thanks, MZ. It's nice to figure out all the idiosyncrasies with the different versions as they go, because they're all. I tend to know I know the MGTs like the back of my hand, but and some of the buggies like the Offna stuff I know pretty good. Nowhere near like Offna guy, but I'm pretty good with them. And then the John seems to be the textbook for the Savage stuff. Between John and Joe, they know everything about those ones. And then I think between the groups we can fill in all the blanks between everything, you know. And usually Corey and his brother can do all the jamming stuff because that seems to be their thing. But see, you just want to trade me that thing. I know, Riggs. I know you do. I'll trade you a nice LST. Majority of the old Offers. Are they really bulbs? I didn't know that. I know that the Hyper 7 is definitely one of my favorites. That thing is bomb proof, man. Hey, I'm the guy. Thanks for coming, buddy. I was hoping a bunch of people showed today. I wasn't sure how long John was going to keep going for. I was hoping that, like, I felt like hot garbage this morning. I wasn't even sure I was actually going to make it. Oh my God, my dog is destroying this toy under the table. Sorry. I know it looks like I'm fucking rubbing one out, but I'm tugging war with the dog. Uh-oh. This toy's going down. Hey. What? Over there. So. But, should we see if this thing will start? You guys want to hear it run? I don't know how much I can do it before I start coughing up a fucking lung, but. Some hand to hand. Oh. Oh, there's a cow head. Sacrifice. What's in your grass? Yeah, my puppy's in here with me. She's under the table here, trying to be good. Poppy, do you want to get seen by the guys? Here, I'll show you. Here's my puppy. She's destroying her toy, as you can see. She's only a little over a year old. We traded a slider for an RC10 GT. Oh, that's cool. You know what? There's a lot of hype around that RC10 GT, and I know I'm going to get fucking strung out for it, but you know, I love the RC10 GT for nostalgia reasons. But thanks, Bob. She's a big dog. Yeah, don't lick the camera tripod. The RC10 GT is, hey, oh Jesus, stop that. I just find it fragile. Like every time I take that thing out, I break it. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but yeah, I break mine a lot. Like I remember running them as a kid, thinking they were awesome and they're great and everything else, but you can't compare that 110, the RC10 GT to a 1/8 buggy for toughness. Thanks, Dave Nitro. She's a Mastiff Cane Corso cross. She's a good girl. Her name's Poppy. She's my Nitro pup. She likes to come out and hang out with me, especially when I'm not feeling well. She doesn't leave me alone. Yeah, like I find right now, and especially right now, all the hype around the new RC10 GT. Don't get me wrong, I'm super stoked that they're pumping out a new nitro, because any new nitro they make is fucking awesome. But the fact that it's super inflating the value of the used RC10 GTs. They're just crazy now, like crazy. Oh my God, Compass. 15 cats? I think I'd rather be in hell. I am not a cat person. What? Yeah, I know. You have your toy, you wrecked it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, what? What? You want to be on the TV? What? You want this? You can have that. I yeah, like I said, I can bring my RC10 down. It's all original. Like everything on it is original. It's the original engine. It still has the Pro 15. It's a great rig. But you like comparison wise, man, I'll tell you, when you talk about back in the day when men were men and you give one of those big stories, the RC10 GT took skill to drive. Like you had to be a good driver. And I mean, I raced those things in high school back in the early 90s. And it's awesome. But that was technology then. And then you compare it to any 1/8 scale buggy and it just eats it for breakfast. Yeah, 2 elephants, a duck, and a hamster. Nice, Joey. Oh, my God. I don't know what she's doing. Here, you get that over there. Do it over there. Did you guys want to hear this thing run? Hopefully I don't cough my guts out. I agree. Native nitro, $400 is crazy. The shitty thing is, I wish they would have released it with the, like re-released the Pro 15. This is a great engine. All right. Let's see. Bobby, I'm going to start this up. All right. I'm going to turn the fan on beforehand, though. She'll probably ask to leave as soon as I fire this up. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. She's fickle that way. Frozen. Give me a second. Window's frozen. There it goes. Whew. All right. It sure does. Rinks, it's going to bring those up like crazy. All right. Need some fuel. It's not quite enough to do anything. Here, Poppy. Put your stuff over there. I haven't run that RC10 GT in a while. Last time I ran it, I screwed up because it had the old analog radio in it, and the antenna tube broke off, and the antenna laid on the chassis, and it took off, and it went screaming across the road and piled into the neighbor's house, and was sitting up against their foundation at about 9 million RPM, and I thought I was going to lose the engine. And I didn't. It's typical Losi, thirsty. It's a great engine, but thirsty. Toot, toot, toot. Okay, I wanted to try something today. Perfect. This is the MGT starter gun. Apparently, it fits in there. Sounds like the battery's a little weak though. We'll see how this holds up. Maybe change it. That's better. Man, that seems lame. Need more spinny power. Too slow. Why that not look like it's priming? There it is. Uh-oh. Typical one-way bearing. See what I mean, Harold? They're square. That's good. Usually these 427s are cranky. That's pretty decent. They like to warm up though. They don't like to just fire up and go or they stall all the time. I've made that mistake before. watch this for a sec. My dog wants to go in the house. See? Thought so. Cranky. Typical Losi engine when it's cold though. Like I said, every one of these 427s I have till they get up to temperature. And you don't want to go too lean because then the thing is too lean. I think I'm going to have to get them new tires on. I think they're stuck. Let's see what I can find for some tires, just for testing purposes, because I think that scares me. It's going to break something. At least that one, anyway. That's what I was saying, Travis, that these rear tires are so out of balance that it just shakes like a mother. Here we go. Let's do a complete swap. What do you think of these? These should be good, hey? Same offset too. Some jerk didn't do a very nice job cleaning them when he put them away. That would be me. I'll have to change the fronts too. Put on there. There. Yeah, I'll see if I can salvage those rears, but I'm pretty sure I might be able to take them off and put them on other wheels. But, man, I hate these recessed wheels. Giving them all away. Get my big fingers in there, nothing else fits. Old mechanic fingers. There. That looks better, hey? Those should be a little less square. All right, let's see if that's a little bit better. I think radio's still on. Yeah. That would get it tuned a little bit. Now it's not shaking its guts out. Bottom end is still a little bit rich. out of fuel. There. I think I'll leave it there till I can actually test drive it, but it seems pretty decent. I can see why that one-way bearing was slipping a bit, because there was a bunch of shmoo that come out of that back plate. That must be just from storage. Ah, fuck, that's hot. But that seems pretty decent. I will leave it there till I can run it outside when it's not minus 25. Yeah, Mike, thanks for coming, by the way. Sorry I was in the middle of pissing with that. I couldn't say shit. But this is my newest acquisition I picked up last week on a business trip. But the one rear wheel is cracked. Didn't catch it when I bought it. The wheel is cracked. It's square. So it feels like it's, oh, it's full of water. Yeah, man, it's full of water. No wonder it doesn't fucking work. Huh. When he cleaned it, it's full of water. That would be the shake. Fortunately, I got no kids and nobody anymore to deal with that. They're not put that there. I'm sure and shit we'll knock that off. Look at all the dirt that come out of these tires. There we go. So that's not too bad. I might pull that engine down just to give it a clean, so I don't have issues with that one way later. But yeah, no, that's the way I bought it off the guy. It just, when I bought this thing, those rears, when I fired it up the other day, it shook like crazy, and I couldn't. So I just swapped the tires over now, and yeah, like I said, and then I just squeezed it, and you could feel it. My God, dogs got toys everywhere. Yeah, I usually don't, I try to make sure that I don't fill that little drain hole with water when I clean it. But this one, with this crack in it, I can hear it in the foam. I wonder if I should put that in the bath, in the acetone bath, and split them apart and then let it dry out. Anybody have any success doing that? Do you guys remember last week when I tried that tire? I put it in the acetone bath, and I said we'll see what it turns out like. Anybody that was on here last week, anyway. I'll show you. So I put it in the acetone bath last week. There's the wheel from the crash. There's the tire. It came off clean. I put a new foam in it that I had from another one. And the tire is 100% reusable. So that does work. Yep, it'll be pizza time now, Joey. I'll put a new wheel on there and put it in the oven, let her dry. But this rim is obviously done. That was a pretty good crash. I don't know if I like these wheels with the spokes on them, because this is what happens. So when you get a solid core wheel, it doesn't tend to do that. Yeah, the acetone bath works, and if you're on a budget or anything, you only got to fill it up once. Man, I must have 10 sets of tires on that same tub of acetone, and I'm still not need to change it yet. So it's definitely viable for sure. You just put them in there, weight them down, let them sit. If you want, if the tire's trashed, all I do is I take the scissors and trim around the rim, and then peel the tire off because the tire's garbage. Keep the foam because that way you don't wreck the foam, and then throw it in the acetone bath, and then you just peel your little strips off because they come off like nothing afterwards. And then you got a clean rim and no glue, and you can leave them in there. I've literally left them in there for a week, forgot about them, and they're fine. So yeah, I'll show you. So yeah, this is my little tub of acetone here. Like I said, I must have 10 sets of tires on this tub of acetone, and I'll throw them in here, and I'll throw some leftover weights or something, or some scrap metal or something, just to weight them down and put them in there, and then you take them out and you peel them off, and you're good to go. Now, like I said, if you want to save the wheels, if you want to save the tires, don't cut them off, but you will wreck the foams. I have never successfully, well, I'm going to try it again, like try and soak them and then let the foams dry out real good. You got to be careful when you take them off, you don't stretch the foam because it never goes back. So, but I'm going to try that next as an experiment and see if the foam actually dries out. If you don't, as long as you're careful taking it off. Yeah, like I got a whole bunch of foams, because as you wreck your tires, then you cut them off and you take your foams out, right? But if you break a rim, then you want to swap the rim to another rim. The acetone trick works pretty good, but generally you wreck the foam. Hey, hi Brent, thanks for coming, buddy. We were just looking at my new truggy that I picked up. Apparently the boys helped me out. It's a V1, Losi 8T. So, like I said, now I'm on the hunt for the V2 because now I want to have all three. Joey, I'm super pumped that Revo's working out for you, buddy. Look, I can't believe that you've hardly had to tune that thing. I tell you, that's the amazing thing with that engine is you hardly ever have to touch that fucking thing. Like it's crazy how well that particular engine holds a tune. That thing will sit on the shelf for literally 6 months. I'd pull it down, fire it up, and just go. I hardly ever have to touch it. Did you find a bell crank piece, Joe? Did you have one for that piece that you broke? Yeah, I'll show you how to break. Pretty clean. We just had it running a minute ago. We had to swap the wheels and tires over because the fella that I got it from cracked the wheel, and the thing was turning into a floor polisher, shaking its guts out on the test stand. So, yeah, this one's, I don't know if Riggs is right if I can work this off, but pretty sure, no, I'll tear the rubber if I try to force it. Okay, I was going to say, because I found some more Revo shit that I'll send you later too, when I was digging through my stuff. I found 2 more bags of Revo parts. There's another bag of bell crank pieces. and another, and more springs out the fucking ass. But yeah, you need more stuff. I'm just gonna close the window and turn the fan off. It's cold out there. It's chilly, chilly. Oh, it's like minus 20 Celsius here today. Not warm. You can't all live in sunny, warm places. Mind you, my heart goes out to those people in California who live in a paradise, and all of a sudden your paradise turns into a wasteland. Why am I getting rid of the Revo stuff, Mike? Well, I don't have a Revo anymore. Both of my Revos, funny story, went to Joe. The one Revo I had that was fairly heavily modified with a .32 axial, I had originally traded to Joe for some stuff. And then the other Revo, because his stuff got stolen, I sent him that Revo. Because I didn't run it that often. I liked it. It was a great kit, and Joe is just such a great dude. I just wanted to send it to him as a present. Like, even, I just want to say, I'm sorry, Joe, I'd pump your tires, but the just show the kind of fellow that he is. You know, he lost all his stuff, all his shit got stolen, and he still sent me a Fortec for my 50th birthday. So, you know, I love the kind words that he said to me in the video, but man, he's a pretty stand-up dude. Do I have a Revo big? No, I got a T-Maxx big block mount though. If somebody's looking to do that conversion, you can hit me up. I'm a little biased on that one, Joe. I don't know. I personally feel like I like the X better than the XL. I find the XL is a little bit too long, but I don't drive my Savages as much as some of you fellas do. Like, some of you fellas put a lot of time on your Savages, and I don't so much. I'm just watching on the other screen. Sorry for pointing so much. That looks kind of lame. It looks like I'm sermoning or something. Dodge all the dog toys on the floor. I think that's what I do love about this hobby. You know, the most part that everybody's willing to help each other out. Like if you got a problem with something or you're stuck, you can talk with people like Hybrid, myself, Joe. You know, most of the administrators, Brett. You know, people, often a guy. All those guys are such great resources. Like MZ on here tells me, you know, I didn't know which generation this was in here. That's what I love about this hobby, man. You can't know everything. Like, I'm sure people get close, like Todd knows pretty much everything about just about every friggin' engine that was put out there. But, like, again, great resource, but he might not know everything about every kit out there. But that's what I love about this hobby, like, and that's what I find is missing from the electric stuff. Not to jump on that bandwagon. Thanks, Compass. I appreciate that. I'm just paying it forward, man. That Revo has a funny story. I don't know the one that Joe has. I don't know if I've ever told that story on one of the lives, but it actually has a funny story how I got it before it went to Joe. Exactly, SLC. And I mean, I think as long as most people are good, and you know, we know who they are. There's just a few people in the communities that are a little shitty that like to make funny memes to rag on people. I don't think that's cool. We don't need to do that kind of crap. But like, I'd love to tell you guys want to hear the story on how I got that Revo that Joe has. It's kind of funny. The funny thing with that Revo, I was at a craft fair with my wife. You know, one of those things where you get drugged to, and it's one of those, you know, all the crafty events and everything else. Where it's one of those things where you're like, oh man, I don't really want to go to one of these things. It's all like knit things and crafts and you know, that kind of shit, wood stuff and stuff like that. Anyway, I get drugged to this. I get drugged to this event and I'm just kind of like, oh god. Anyway, so I meet this other husband that's obviously drugged along for the ride. Great people. She worked for me at the mine, and so I knew her well. That's his wife, and he was a tireman at the mine, so I knew him from there. And he's like somehow or another we got talking about RC cars, because everything I seem to talk about comes back to RC cars. And he says, you know what? He says, I got one of those things. He said, I don't know what it is. He said, it takes a drill to start it. And he said, but it came with my motorhome. He says, and I have no idea how to make it run. If you want it, come get it. Merry Christmas. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, me thinking it starts with a drill, thinking, oh man, it's got to be an old MGT, right? So I'm like, okay. So I go up, and we live in a small town. So I go up to see him, and he comes out with that Revo, and a whole bag full of shit, and a whole bunch of parts, and he's like, I can't figure out how to run it. Merry Christmas. I'm like, you don't want any money for it? He says, no. He says, I don't know anything about it. He said, it came with my motorhome. It was tucked underneath the bed, and the guy didn't want it back, and I ended up, and he's like, here you go, you can have it. Merry Christmas. And I was just like, holy Christ, what the best craft fair I ever went to. Anyway, long story short, that's how I ended up with that thing, which was a complete fluke. I didn't pay anything for it, and I ended up with it because somebody else didn't want to learn how to deal with it. So it's one of those things where, you know, pay it forward type thing, you know. And it hadn't run for a very long time when I got it. I dropped it out and took the flat pack battery out of it, and it hadn't run in so long that battery had delaminated and was glued in the housing. So it's interesting for sure. It's funny how you stumble across some hybrid. I've been to some crazy places where people are like, yeah, I got one of those. It's up in my rafters, and you're like, what? You know, and you go to their house and they're just like, I got one up on the shelf there. It's another crazy story. A friend of mine worked at the dump, and he saved it. Somebody was like, they got divorced. The wife was throwing all the husband's shit out, and he had gone to jail, and they were throwing it into the fucking dumpster, and the buddy that worked at the dump saved it and gave it to me. And it's crazy how you come across stuff like that. I've had people that have bought them and I've paid them back that have found them at like those storage container sales, you know, crazy stuff like that. It's interesting, you know. You get guys that or they get them, and the other one that makes it sad is when people get big collections and get over their head and overwhelmed and then just bail. Because there's time and time again there's stories about people that do that. Pardon me. True, hybrid. I find it's one extreme or the other. I'm sure you've come across the same thing. It's one extreme or the other. They're either ones that people don't want to deal with it and they just want to clean it out, but you got to take the nitro kit, but you got to take all this, like the fucking bed and the couch and the chair and everything else that came with it and deal with it. It's one extreme or the other. Yeah, and that's the one thing that gets. And again, I brought it up. That's what about the RC10 GT. Now all the values of the RC10 GT have just went through the roof because now they're repopping that one. So now all of a sudden the value of all the used RC10 GTs have gone fucking apeshit. Yeah, there's no way I would pay $350 for a used RC10. Like, I know they're vintage and I know they're collectible and I know they're part of history and all, but again, it's still a two-wheel drive stadium truck that's frail. Yeah, exactly, hybrid. It's really no better than a Rustler. With the world's most contrary friggin' engine mount to boot. Like, it's not nice to take out. Sorry guys, I woke up this morning feeling like a bag of shit, so I was really hoping that I could hold it together for the live. I managed to dope the crap out of myself so I could manage to make it through this. I'm really glad I did because I do enjoy hanging out with you guys on Sundays. Right on, Joe. You sell that thing, man. Sell it. Sell it. Yeah, you're right, Corey. Well, it's, the other day before yesterday, it was 0, and then it was 2 degrees, and now it's minus 20 Celsius. Stupid. Yeah, I agree. The ball dip is like half a turn too tight, the other half a turn too loose, and then you're just like, oh fuck. Like mine, I think mine's pretty much locked up solid because I got tired of pissing with it. So it's I just more or less take it out and do donuts with it. Thanks, awfully guy. We'll get there. You can't keep us down. I know that whole One Nation thing is, I don't want to be part of the U.S. No offense to you Americans that are on here, but I'm good. I'm proud to be a Canadian. I'm good to stay Canadian. I don't want to be. I really hope nothing comes. This whole thing scares the shit out of me, to be honest with you. I really hope nothing comes of it, and I really hope it doesn't end up in some dirty fucking trade war. Like, a lot of my stuff, a lot of the place where I work at is sold in US dollars to overseas, the coal that we sell. And if this all goes crazy, it's going to be something else. Oh, that's all good, Corey. That's as far as I'm going with it, too. I don't want to go down that road. Did you guys want to, I'll put this off to the side if you guys want to see something else today. I'll put this over here. I do agree with you, Bob. Something needs to be done about that, and I think we're on the right track. Oh yeah, every country has its ups and downs. You know, it's just be proud of where you live. I mean, at least we're not in some communist state where we're close, but we're not there. You know, we're not in a regime. You want to see the RC10 GT? Oh, you want to see something? What do you want to see, Traxxas, Michael? You don't ask usually. Can I send you a picture of what do you want to see, Joe? Send you a picture of it, please, northwest. I'm really interested. I got something cool I'll show you, Michael, that I guarantee you've never seen that cylinder head on a Traxxas. Okay. I'm just trying to see. Oh man, everybody's crying about that. Oh hey, John, thanks for coming, buddy. That was an awesome race today. Sorry I had to leave early. So this is something that's kind of cool. Guarantee there's not many people on here that would have seen. That would have seen a cylinder head on a 3.3 that looks like this. Check the size of that thing out. This one's got a funny story behind it, this Jado. This is my buddy's Jado. Yeah, isn't that cool, hybrid? I've never seen that. So when I drove by, I was at a swap meet with a friend of mine who was looking for a Jado, and we happened to walk by a table full of electrics, just full of it. And this one was sitting there, and I'm like, "Has that been big block converted?" Because all I could see was the head through the body. And Buddy's like, "No, that's a 3.3. It's an aftermarket head." And I'm just like, "Holy sweet Jesus!" I said, "Look at the size of that fucking thing." Anyway, so I said to the guy, I said, "Well, what do you want for it?" And he says, "I don't know, give me 120." And I'm like, and before I could even spit it out of my mouth, he's like, "I'll tell you what, you give me $100 for the Jado, and I'll give you that T-Maxx." And I ended up with a T-Maxx Classic that's just about mint, and this Jado for $120. And it was just like this deal of the century, in my opinion. This thing runs good too, like it's a solid runner. And it's the weirdest thing. I mean, both of them were locked up solid. Of course, I had to take them all apart to get them going. It was a good deal. I've never seen a cylinder head. Somebody said it was a King or something like that cylinder head that was available back in the day. And yeah, it was a smoking deal. And it was one of those deals where I walked past this table like 20 times and never saw it sitting there. King, that's what it is. Thanks, Officer Guy. I think you're the one who told me last time and I forgot. King Motors head or something like that. Yeah. King's Motor Heads. Yeah, it's cool, but I worry it's going to overcool in Canada anyway. This would probably be great in friggin' California or Florida or something like that when it's really, really hot. We don't get that hot here. I'd be hard pressed to think that this is actually going to overcool. Yeah, like, I've never seen one of these, not in person anyway. I looked it up and found pictures of it and shit, but I've never found it in person. And it's pretty cool. And it still has all the original analog radio gear, which, you know, a lot of people don't like. Around here, because I live in such a small town, we don't have any problems with the analog gear here. We don't have much interference. So I run some analog radio gear, and I've never had any problems with it. It's been pretty good. So like I said, this is my buddy's. He just lets it. I put a visitor parking spot over there for him. Oh, I'd be surprised if it does exist, Travis. I'd be inclined to believe that it's gone. No, I don't think it's too bad either, hybrid. I've used it a few times on different things. They do still exist, Travis? Cool. But yeah, like I said, look at this. He did such a nice job cutting the body out and everything. It's pretty good. We did test drive this thing. It is working. These tires suck so bad. Like they're just so shitty. They balloon up so bad. I think they're from a rustler. But they, correct me if I'm wrong, hybrid, I think you'd know. I think those are rustler tires. But I think these might be Jado fronts, but the rears are horrible. They balloon up. This thing gets going about 50 miles an hour. It's like crazy. Yeah, I like the Jados though. In my opinion, Michael, like, oh, you want to fire this one up? I'd rather not. This one's not mine. It's a friend of mine's. So I try to only fire this one up when kind of he's around. We can fire it up, though I don't think he'd care. The one I want to fire up is my T-Maxx. I haven't fired that thing up in a while. And I feel like I really need to do something with it because it's been sitting for a long time now. So these are OG Jado fronts, Joey? That's what I thought. What about these rears? Are these rustler rears? I think so. T-Maxx it is, he says. This is my, as much as I bash Traxxas sometimes, this thing, it's kind of like that green T-Maxx that hybrid has. It's just a staple, man. It's just solid as a rock. I take it out, beat the tar out of it, and put it back. Like, as much as I say, I don't have no idea how much fuel has gone through this engine. It's 3.3, and it still runs like a champ. This thing I actually beat, and I know a lot of people call it bullshit, but I beat an X-Maxx in a race with this thing, with I think it was a 4S X-Maxx, not a 6S, a 4S X-Maxx, and I beat him in a drag race, and he was so mad, so mad. Oh, man, battery's still up. It should run. If I got a rotor start, it's not done fucking dead. This is all still Traxxas servos. This thing's all original. And it just gets beat. If I'm gonna do something stupid, this is what I take out. If I'm gonna like jump the house or something like that, this is what I take. It's probably not a good plan, but that's how it goes down. Or if I'm gonna go to a bike park, this is what I take. Oh man, she's gonna run. Come on, little mate. That thing's been sitting since the beginning of the summer. Like I said, man, this is kind of an anomaly. This thing fires up and idles like that every time. I have no idea how many hours are on this engine. It just runs solid. It's kind of an anomaly for a 3.3. I don't want to touch it. And that's no preheat. That's how I start that thing every time. I am not good to it. I'm trying to treat it like a piece of shit. I knew that was going to happen. A little loaded up. This thing is always such a prick till it's warmed up. Like it fires up good and everything else, but it wants to be warm. And I have made the mistake of messing with the tune till it's warm, and then this It's really messed up. Second all the time. Like I said, it just likes to warm up. It's been sitting for a while. Let's see, holds an idle perfect. Still on the original plastic spur gear in this one, to boot. Listen. I don't even clean this one very nicely. I should clean it. That was the original radio gear. I better turn that fan back on. That's all good, Brett. Thanks for coming. I just want to run that little bit of fuel out of there. I don't want to leave it in the tank. Saw that coming. She loaded up, sitting there. There it is. Now it's out of fuel. Good old truck. I bought this off of some spoiled rich kid in a little tiny community for, I think I got it for 120 bucks. The kid showed up, probably a $120,000 Dodge, and he's like, yeah, you drove all this way. No, I paid $100 for it. I said, no, you drove all this way. He says, he said, it needs to be fixed. I don't want to deal with it. You take it, $100. I'm like, okay, here you go. And took it home. All that was wrong with it is the through pin on one of the rear drive shafts came out, and I had one. And I put it back in, and that's the only thing I've ever done to it. Other than I did snap a spindle off it once, because that fella I told you about, he had a brand new X-Maxx, another X-Maxx, sorry, different X-Maxx, and we were drag racing out front, and he cut me off, and I hit him, probably about 40 miles an hour, and I ripped the wheel right off. So, but yeah, it was kind of a mess. But anyway, yeah, this is my T-Maxx. It's a great old truck, but I like these extended, the newer 3.3s without reverse. They're a much better truck than the Classic. The Classic is a great truck, but that transmission is so contrary. Yeah, it tends to be a 3.3 thing. They tend to surge a bit. If you try and tune it right out of it, you'll pull your hair out. I know you like your T-Maxxes, Brett. I had my other T-Maxx platform. Oh. Did it freeze, or was that my iPad? I think that was just my iPad. The other T-Maxx platform is pretty good too, but I like this platform. Whew, it's foggy in here. Rocky. John, did you sort out, are you still on there, buddy? Did you sort out your June issue? Did you figure it out? Hope you got her sorted. I'll let the smoke clear up, and then Native Nitro was asking me some questions about the collection, so I would imagine I was up and down those stairs a lot of times. Like, that's a workout for anybody, really. Well, that's why I have that big exhaust fan in here, but sometimes it doesn't keep up exactly. Yeah. Oh, you mean right at the end when it dies? Yeah, that's normal. Like, that's just air jumping through there. That's not abnormal. You know what I want to get, fellas? And you guys will think this is funny. I want to get, you know those now serving signs, the digital ones? I want to get one of those that I can put up on the wall, probably up where that Savage box is, and have it so that it keeps the number of RC cards that I have, so I can change the number as I get more or trade or whatever. But at least that way I can just change it, and then don't have to recount every time I get one, or forget where I'm at. I think that'd be fun, hey Harold? I think that'd be funny. Like one of those now serving digital signs, the ones that are probably about yay big. I just can't believe the price of those stupid things. But I think it'd be fun. Because then I can just change the number as I go, instead of having to do a complete recount every time. Like you say, well, how many do I got now? Because I'll buy one, trade one, so on and so forth. I think it'd be cool. Instead of saying, I'll put a sign over top of it, instead of saying now serving, it'll be days of number of RCs or something like that. You know those safety signs where it says days without incident? Days since last purchased a nitro. 0. I was worried about that, John. I was hoping the engine wasn't going sideways. Was it the plug, John, or was it just a tune issue? Man, I really fogged it up in here. Oh fuck, it's not that foggy in here. My glasses. So where is it? Did you want to see just a quick overview of the collection? Native? You do need. I wish it wasn't so far away, John, because that'd be so much fun. I'd love to get the whole works of us. Like I know this is pipe dreaming, but the whole works of us together in one place like that. Just have a laugh. There you go, awesome guy. You can be the tune guy. You can be the pit alley guy. That would be so cool. Ooh, a bit of a lag here today. Slowly clearing out. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like, whenever your tune instantly changes, I throw a plug in it and then just keep that plug off to the side, because if that's not what it is. But otherwise, fuck, you'll screw your tune up so bad. And then, and I've done this I don't know how many times. And then when you throw a plug into it, then your tune is way out, and it's just this vicious cycle of horribleness. And I'm sure we've all done it 100 times. Just waiting for the smoke to clear. Hey Brett, I know you were talking about the starter boxes. So these are the ones that I run. Lots of people run different kinds of boxes and stuff. This is the one that I like because it's cheap. It's a TLR box. The starter wheels are cheap. Box is cheap. And I run. This one is my universal box. I don't even put any pegs on it, and it works just fine. You just put it on there, kind of line it up, just push it down, and it works pretty good. Like it'll do just about any kit that I have, really. You just gotta spend a couple seconds before you push it down, because I don't keep pins in it, because this is my universal box. I just use it for everything, and it'll work for my truckies or my buggies, and it works perfect. But and these are cheap. You can buy them. Geez, I think you can get them off of Amazon for I think $120. So. I thought you did great, John. I thought you did great. I can't believe they let an XRT on that track. That's nuts. Nice, John. Nice. I think you need to run a little more aggressive tire, John, on that track. They packed up pretty bad. Hey? Like those are great tires, but I don't think they're great for that compound. They didn't clean themselves out at all. I think you did really well for how much those tires got packed in. Totally, Riggs. That's all that matters. As long as you had a good time. Who gives a shit? It wasn't a competition race, it's just fun. Did they kick you out because of the smoke, John? Or did they just kick you out because it was timed out? Sorry guys, I know I'm not as full of piss and vinegar today, but I feel like a bag of shit. Two other nitros showed up at the end? Hey, John. The other John. Yeah. I think I got a nice film of nitro on my glasses. Hey, I've hit kids before. It's not the end of the world. They'll get back up. I've hit them in my yard out front. I know that sounds mean, but they'll live. The oh man, that T-Maxx, I hit myself in the shins with that thing wide open one time, and I thought I broke my leg. It said heal. Yeah. That's right, awesome guy. I'll put these over here. I'll deal with these later. Thanks, John. Perfect. Oh man, I can just imagine flip flops with an RC. Oh, you get a ring to toe, I can feel that. I don't even want to think of that. Should have taken a Savage there, John, and then you could have at least done one for one with the XRT. That would have been hilarious. Yeah, you never want to hurt a kid, you know. you never want to hurt anybody. I know that. I've unfortunately hit a few kids, and I've hit a dog. I've deliberately gone after deer, and I had one RC car stopped by a elk. That was something, and broke the body posts and everything else. So I was trying to chase the elk away. It decided it didn't want my RC car anywhere near it. Yeah, that'll shake you. It can shake you, especially if people get pretty shitty about it. You know, John, I'm pretty easy too. Have you ever got a good race like that going and you want me to delay mine for the fellas to show up? Just shoot me a message, man. I'm not one of those assholes that are going to be like, oh man, it's my time. I'm easy. I can push mine an hour or so one way or another. All good. We can all work together. Right on, hybrid. That's awesome. I love your guys' little track, hybrid. That's awesome. Trying to think before I go today if there's anything you guys haven't seen that's different that in my collection that you guys wouldn't have seen before. But I think you guys have seen all my oddball shit. Change the layout. Yeah, man, it's cold as shit here too, John. Corey, you're in Winnipeg, right? Or Manitoba. Somewhere in there. The RC10 GT. Yeah, it's cold here, man. It's minus 20 here. It's not quite as cold where Harold is, but Harold's just a little colder. But I just gotta quickly text my missus and ask her to bring out a chart table for this iPad. Actually, here, 1 second. I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna run in the house and grab it. Just be right back. All right. Sorry, guys. My my iPad's dying, and I can't read your comments if I don't have my iPad. So I kind of need it to be able to hear, to see what you guys are saying. So, yeah. There. Sorry about that. Now, that's part of the tube. Oh, cool. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. That truckie worked out pretty good. Seems to work. Seems to work pretty decent. It seems to be. I had to swap the wheels and tires over. You kind of missed that, but the one tire, the rim is cracked and it's full of water, so it shakes like a bastard. Okay, I gotta see if I can reach that RC10. All right. This is my RC10 GT. Man, I gotta start cleaning my stuff a little better before I put it away. Oh, she's a big delay there. I'll wait till it catches up a bit. So this still has the old Pro 15 in it. I did throw, it does have analog radio gear in it. I just threw it in here for now because I did have better radio gear in it and I took it out. And now it's got just old Traxxas AM gear in it right now. Works. It's just what I had to throw in it for now. And I did throw these Speedhawk wheels. They come with adapters, so they work on the pin drive wheels. You just use Jado hex nuts, fit right on there, and then these work much better because the originals are toast, right? So I still have them, but they're just wore out. But at least it puts it up to a newer style, 12 mil hex, and because the Jado hexes work and the cross pins work for the rears, no problem. Just so you guys know. And this thing is I mostly run this on asphalt. I don't run it in the dirt much because I don't want to wreck it. So I think I have another body kicking around somewhere. for one of these things. I think I got a body for a GT2. If anybody's in need of one. The rims Proline mod wheels. They're Speed Treads, Speed Hawk. I found them in a hobby store. I don't even know who makes them, to be honest with you, but they seem to work good, and they came with adapters and everything else. I did have a Jado all 4 wheels and tires on this thing at one time, and the bearings and the hubs and everything fit the front. So just so you know, you have the GT2. This is the, I think this is the GT, the one, the original one, because it doesn't have the upper deck or none of that stuff. And this old Pro 15, it runs like a champ. It never causes me grief. Fires up usually pretty easy. Yeah. I think, let me see if I can reach that body. It's way up high. These are both GT2 bodies that I've got kicking around. So this one I know for sure is a GT2 body. This one I don't know what exactly it is. It might be. But I do have the windshield and everything for this one too, just the glue popped out. So it's actually out. It had the separate glass, which I haven't seen that for a very long time. So. You let me know, Nitro, Native Nitro. I would part with one of these. I don't need them, and chances of me using them are slim. At least they're cheap to ship because they don't weigh anything. So that's good. Yeah, I was wondering that too. It looks like an XXXNT because the back mount is really close together. Maybe that's where that one came from, because my XXXNT went to Luke. So the Bug 404 has my XXXNT. I got rid of it because I got tired of that fuel tank issue, and then Luke found a way around it. So. I know you love the stadium trucks. Have a good night, Ogden guy. Thanks for coming, buddy. I don't even know if the battery's dead as a doornail on this thing or what. It's been sitting for so long. When do I think I said that? I sound like a broken record today. Oh, put a switch in this one. Oh, battery's dead. Yeah, dead. Sort of works. Swap out this battery pack. The high-tech zip tie. Another high-tech zip tie. Yeah, I had a bunch of stadium trucks at one time, and I got rid of them just because they're not exactly my favorite. I keep them mostly for nostalgia reasons more than anything else. The blue one. You can see if this thing will fire up. There's a guy in the city selling one of those Adam Drake ones. It's pretty nice, but he wants a lot of money for it. It's got the gold chassis and everything else, but he wants a lot of money for it. I can't justify it. More fuel in there than that. There we go. Come on. One way's a little sticky. Doesn't have to be sitting for a year. Already. Up to temperature just like that. That's just a good engine. Such a good engine. Those Pro 15s are so good. That thing never fails to start. It usually always goes. No puppy, no barking. Hey Lotus. So yeah, it's good old rig this thing. Should probably probably pull the fuel out of it though. I don't like leaving fuel in my RCs. I don't want to run this one because that will probably break something. I do love the primer ball though. That is the shit. The best thing that they ever did. This one runs pretty strong. I gotta admit, it's I don't have any problems with this old Pro 15. It'll sit up on the shelf for a long, long time. I'll take it down, prime it up, away it goes. Hold on, the dog wants it again. Leave this open for a minute. Why isn't that working? So, I'll let everything catch up there a little bit now. So now that I've fired this up, I'm going to make sure I work back on one bit too. Oh, he traded those to you, did he notice? I saw he got them, but I never ever seen him run them. So I wondered if he traded those off. I've been dragging my feet on doing the 1/5 stuff, you know, and I'm leaning towards getting one, but I've been procrastinating. I think you come out on top on that one, Lotus. Just saying. Those aren't cheap. Those aren't cheap units. Glad that I could run that. You know, I haven't run it for a while. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, Northeast, but I just kind of like to have one just to kind of round off the collection, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of them. I like the sound of nitro way better. I agree. But on that note, fellas, I'm kind of running out of gas. Instead, woke up sick as shit this morning. But I still wanted to come out here and do a live stream with you guys. So I do appreciate everybody coming out this weekend. I think I'm going to call her a day and go in and kind of nurse the rest of this goddamn cold/flu and call it a day. But do appreciate everybody that came. And I do see I got 23 likes, which is awesome. Thank you, everybody. Anybody that's not a sub, I do appreciate. I don't usually ask, but I would sure love a sub if you're not already subscribed. Everybody have a great evening, and hope everybody keeps good health. And anybody that's in California, you take care, and my thoughts are with you. All right. Much love. Have a great night.